Popularity, how many folks do you see doing this?
There's not very many companies out here that are following this protocol. This is some new technology that's on the market, and we're trying to educate the homeowners and the insurance companies on it.
And then also, I guess the one other thing, cost effectiveness. How cost effective is this procedure compared to, as I said, an insurance company coming in and saying, well, we need to rip out all the flooring, all the cabinets, you've lost your furniture. Where does it stack up?
This typically turns out about 30% less than the rip and gut fashion. We're not replacing any pad, we're not replacing any drywall, not painting any surfaces, because we're able to dry everything in place with the least amount of tear out as possible. And so our pricing on this typically comes out about 20 to 30% less than the conventional method.
And I guess really quickly, Chad, I only have about 10 seconds, but if somebody's at home and they do experience a problem with flooding, can they recommend to their insurance company that they contact your company to help clean up, or how does that work?
Absolutely. They can contact the local Rainbow here in town. The one thing that we want to make sure that everybody understands is that the homeowner always has the right to choose whichever mitigation professionals they get in. And so that's, they want to make sure they hire a professional. And any professional they hire, they want to check their credentials.
Chad Roden with Rainbow International Restoration and Cleaning. Chad, we appreciate you being with us this morning and for giving us a very enlightening and quite frankly, a little amusing tour there as people are seeing a house get sprayed down with water. So we certainly appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
A flood can totally devastate a home, and rebuilding can not only be costly but time-consuming.
But a Waco-based company has a fast and unique idea to help make the road to recovery a little smoother. Bill Young explains.
Near downtown Waco is a 1,200 square foot house that about once a month is completely flooded. And it's all done on purpose.
What we've started off with this morning is we've come in and actually saturated all of the subfloorings, all the floor coverings, and then a lot of the wall structures as well. And as you can see, a lot of the contents.
The house is the training ground for Rainbow International Restoration Services and is housed inside their Waco warehouse. The company uses high-powered vacuums to literally suck the water right out of a flooded house.
Check how much moisture we still have in the pad. I don't know if you can see from that angle, but as I wring this out, there's quite a bit of moisture that comes out of this. It's just like a large sponge that's underneath the carpet. And we get absolutely nothing out of this cushion now. We're able to salvage most of the materials, whether it be furnishings, whether it be floor coverings, or just the structure itself, through the use of the drying technology that we use now.
The technology is striking a chord with many homeowners who are facing long periods of displacement following a flood.
The time spent out of the house, especially on a full loss like this, homeowners wouldn't be able to stay in this situation. And so with them moving out of the house, we can dry it down much faster and get them returned in so they're not out so much alternate living expense off the policies.
Homeowners are the only one taking notes. Rainbow International floods the home to show off the drying technology to insurance companies who are always eager to help cut down expenses.
We've got a lot of insurance companies that like to come in and have their adjusters come through the training as well. And it's just to help educate everybody that's out there in the industry.
And while the process of soaking down the house may look like a lot of fun,
I've heard of some fast and easy ways to clean house, but never anything like this.
It can be saving time and money for folks who are facing a very damp situation. Bill Young, News 10, Waco.
And coming up,
to keep those shoes.
I bet you he did. We'll have to check.
KWTX News 10 this morning starts now.
Well, police have caught the fugitive couple known as the modern-day Bonnie and Clyde. Find out where they were hiding out. And a top London security official warns the country's financial district could face imminent danger. Plus, the Discovery crew is at home, but NASA is back at work this morning. They will launch an orbiter into space, its destination, Mars. Plus, we'll be checking in with the Morning Buzz this morning, one day after rains pound Central Texas. What do you do if you're facing a cleanup? We'll have some suggestions. Well, straight ahead, Lon's going to have a look at your forecast. Plus, we'll be checking in with the Morning Buzz this morning, one day after massive rains pounded Central Texas. What do you do if you are facing a cleanup? We'll have the answer straight ahead. Thanks, Ron. Well, it's time now for the Morning Buzz. And yesterday at this time, we were talking about the devastating rainfall that was plaguing a lot of Central Texas. This morning, of course, our focus turns to the cleanup, and that's where folks like our guest this morning come in. Chad Roden is with Rainbow International. We've had the opportunity to visit with him several times. And Chad, I can only begin to imagine that things have been pretty hectic for you guys in about the last 24 hours.
Absolutely. I know the local franchise has got quite a few calls off of this.
So, Chad, now that these storms have come through and the people have been pounded by rain, we're seeing flooding in their homes, what are folks facing now, the day after these storms?
The biggest thing that people are facing is a lot of them are finding out that this is not something that's covered by their homeowner's policy. Flood insurance is something that's actually sold by the government that they have to meet special criteria to even be able to get. And so a lot of people with groundwater intrusion are finding out that this is going to be something they're going to have to pay for out of their own pockets.
Do a lot of people even really think ahead? I mean, if you know your house is in a floodplain, you most likely will go ahead and get some type of flood insurance, but a lot of these folks that we were meeting yesterday had no idea that their homes could ever be susceptible to flooding.
Absolutely. You know, with us putting in streets, gutters, stuff of that nature, we divert water from your natural runoffs, and a lot of times that does actually end up on homeowners' property or inside their homes, unfortunately.
And Chad, how big of a deal can it be for someone whose home has been devastated by a flood to just clean up?
I can say it can be actually pretty expensive for somebody to come in and remove all the materials that have been wet and restore the property back to a pre-loss condition. It can be very expensive for a homeowner.
So I guess that's where businesses like yours, which offer restoration services, can really come in and offer a solid alternative.
That's right. I'm sorry I didn't hear the question very well.
Oh, well, no, the businesses like yours are able to provide people with some type of alternative program rather than just coming in and ripping apart their home.
Well, unfortunately, whenever it's groundwater, the groundwater is going to carry pesticides, it's going to carry the herbicides. It's actually deemed as a Category 3, which is a black water loss. Most materials that water has, that's been wet by that moisture, has to be removed. It's not something that we can actually salvage in those type of instances.
Well, Chad, hold on to that thought because we're going to be checking back with you coming up in just a few more minutes, and there are some things that we want to let our viewers at home know if they have experienced any type of flooding because of these recent storms, and hopefully you can kind of help point them in the right direction as to where they need to go. We'll see you back in just a few minutes.
All right.
Thanks, Lon. Well, when we come back, we're going to check back in with the Morning Buzz. Just 24 hours ago, rain was drenching parts of Central Texas,